Hallo und willkommen beim Teil 8 unserer Space Abenteuern. Okay. Hm. Ach. Na. Okay. Habe ich den echt übersehen? Okay. Habe mich schon gewundert.
Hey, hold on there. I gotta sign you in. Don't think I've seen you
Dann tu
around.
das.
That means you must be new to Stellar Bay. You are new here, right? You must have seen those UDL gunships on your way in. There's only 3 of them these days. Still, they tend to scare folk off. You may not have heard, you being new, but Stellar Bay hardly ever gets off-road traffic. Us being cut off by the board and all. Which means I never get to do this part, but I've been practicing, so here goes. On behalf of Monarch Stellar Industries, welcome to Stellar Bay, home of the freshest sal tuna in Halcyon. Please state your name for the records. Swell. There's one for the logs. I'm even gonna give you your own entry code. I'm not supposed to do that. It's against procedure, but Mr. Sanjar isn't so strict about the rules here. Besides, I got a lot of empty entries to fill. We don't get ship traffic in town. Only off-worlders who do make it out here are sublight. They got a base in Fallbrook. And thank the stars for them, or we would have run out of Rizzo's Purple Berry Crunch years ago. Oh, that'll just make Mr. Sanjar's day if you tell him. The board makes up lots of nasty stories about raptidons and cannibals and whatnot. But that's all outside our walls. Mostly. Oh, sure. They make Stellar Bay sound like a rotten place, but it's not so bad. Get a good breeze going, and the sulfur smell mostly covers up the fishy smell. Anyway, Mr. Sanjar's got lots to say on that subject. Mr. Sanjar will be mighty pleased to meet you. If you see him over at headquarters, maybe you could tell him I did a bang-up job of welcoming you? Oh, and if you're headed that way, maybe you could do me a favor? I got this Rizzo's Rangers tossball poster coming in on the next sublight shipment, signed by the Black Hole himself. Only I haven't heard anything in a while. You think you could check with Celia to see if it's come in? That's Bertie Holcomb, only one of the greatest tossball hackers ever.
I wonder if he's kin. Dad had family that worked for Rizzo's. I never got to meet them.
Everyone's heard of him, even on Monarch. We still get some of the games. You been living in a sulfur pit or something? On account of him being the best hacker who ever played, nothing gets by him. He sucks up every ball that comes his way. Whatever you say, I could talk tossball for hours. I couldn't really say I'm just a fan of the game. But the fancy collector types say the more people see these... Thanks a bunch! Celia works for Mr. Sanjar in the MSI building next to the bar. She's always there, so you can't miss her.
Da wären wir wieder mit den Spielständen. Profi, Fußball, locker. Dachte, vielleicht könnte man irgendwie da hoch. Aber scheint nicht so zu sein. Wow. 46er. Okay, 49, 29 sogar. Eine Sense, cool. Sehr nett.
Laws. Can a man enjoy the smooth menthol flavor of a Stogie Slim in peace? What I am doing, sir, is enjoying the moment. It's so rare that I can seize one apart from the jabbering masses of this wretched place. This Law's forgotten town. Cut off from the rest of the colony. Removed from any culture. I recall when Stellar Bay was a proper board-affiliated town with regular shipments of Auntie Cleo's best and all the cereals. Before Sanjar took over MSI and got us all booted. Yes, free to wallow in squalor together. Free to squabble with the iconoclasts over a raptidon-infested hellhole. Look, you're making me melancholy. Is there something you wanted?
Well, well. Isn't often we see new folk in Stellar Bay. First, suit yourself. If you plan on sitting through Nyoka's stories, you might could use a few.
I could use a few and telling them myself.
Now what can I do for you?
Und die steht doch direkt daneben, Alter. Wie gut kennst du New Yorker?
Thought it had a fancy ring to it. Name's the first advertising anyone sees, after all. Nope. But a man can dream. Thought it had a fancy ring. Ah, don't be so negative. It's what's on the inside that counts. Speaking of, you look like you could use a bottle with something good in it. Not since Amber Heights. These days we have more leaving than coming. Off to join the iconoclasts or some such. Bunch of marauders broke into the executive compound, slaughtered everyone. Corporations pulled out of Monarch not long after. I thought everyone knew. But then that was 10 years ago. Anyone who spends any amount of time in this bar is bound to get to know Nyoka, on account of her being here so often herself. And I don't mean that unkindly. Anyone who's rid us of as many beasts as you have is entitled to a few drinks. Something else I can do for you?
Das behalte ich mal.
And the little bastard's slippery, right? On account of its blood, so it's sliding. All over the place, trying to crawl away. Getting so I can't tell the blood from the mud. But I gotta get in there, get right in that baby rap's stomach and dig it out. If so much as a drop of stomach acid got on that medallion, shit, I don't know what I'd do. Might be I'd hunt every damn wrapped out there. Right. What are you staring? Wait. You ain't from around here. Who are you? Name's Nyoka. I'm the best big game hunter on the planet.
You're also the loudest big game hunter on the planet. And the drunkest.
Shut the fuck. Fair point. I deserve it, though. On account of being the best.
My dad always kept his firearms and liquors in different lockers. Said it wasn't safe to mix them.
Out here, if you ain't a little buzzed, you're liable to notice the stench of life. The grit in the air. The dust in every drink and the blood on every boot.
Wieso habe ich eigentlich die Gelegenheit nicht, mich als Alec Hawthorne zu vorstellen oder vorzustellen?
If you think this is drunk, I gotta, you need to get out more. Sit, partake, buy me a drink and let's chat. Well. Let's get down to brass nuts then, shall we? Wait, that ain't it. Brass rats? Let's talk business. I'm headed back out there after I sober up. You want a guide sooner than that? You have to get me something to clear my head. Outstanding! Our dispensary here maintains a stock of, well, I don't rightly know what they are. Steroids? I'm cut off for the month, on account of needing one just about every damn day. But I'm sure you've got your wily ways. Fetch me one and we'll be all set. Well, they work. We got a deal or what?
Mich würde es nicht wundern, wenn die nur Scheiße labert. Die 36. Nee. Ich warte noch mal, bis ich einen 46er gefunden habe. Mhm.
New face, huh? You from off-world? A ship captain? Well, I'll be. Here, let me buy you a drink. Consider it an MSI welcome. Why don't you grab a chair, sit a spell and revel with us?
By the smell, he's been reveling enough for you both already.
Me and my friends have taken our destiny into our own hands. We're untethered, free of responsibility and worldly cares. Well, as long as we don't run out of bits. But until the windfall's gone, we're riding high. See, we just walked out on our work. Had enough, we did. So now we're striking. It ain't any one thing but the sum of it all, having to work longer shifts for less bits. And the wages we do earn don't cover as much as they used to. Our supervisor Velma goes on and on about quarterly profits and meeting quotas. But that ain't what Sanjar promised us. Velma refuses to negotiate, so we're refusing to work. We won't go back until she agrees to pay us fair and proper. Us on Monarch, we're free from the board, you know? We have the right to lobby for better hours and pay. I wouldn't doubt it. You look like the type who tends to come out on top. Not like us cogs, trying to be the squeaky wheel but just getting deadlocked. It's been days, but Velma won't even hear us out. Maybe you could just make her listen to our demands. You would do that? We sure are lucky you decided to come up to the patio today. I knew drinking up here would be good for more than the view. Sure thing. What did you want to discuss? Not forever, but we've each saved up our bits, and I stashed them safe in my home by the diner. I reckon we could last a week or two at least. If I knew that, I'd have tried it. Talking reasonably got me nowhere. Maybe you'll fare better. The others wanted to blackmail her, but we're above that. Besides, them are just rumors. We got no proof they're true. I would never endorse such an untoward tactic, you know, but, well, there's rumors that Velma's taking a cut off the profits. So far, it's just gossip, you know, but if there was any proof to be had, it'd be in the Saltuna warehouse, I reckon.
Mhm. War klar, dass ich irgendwelche Beweise finden muss. Toll, der guckt genau gleich hier rein. Ohrringe. So komisch aus.
What are the chances of all the times and places we could have been born?
Yeah.
We're here, light years from Earth, going about our lives.
Every time the punch clock peals, the worker earns his meals.
What are you talking about?
Sorry, I thought you were quoting It's a Wonderful Director.
Wrap mask and canid eyes, right here.
Wohl ein Verkäufer. Mal gucken, was er hat.
Hello, stranger. Can I interest you in a raptidon tongue? Or maybe some canid toenails? You look like a man who's looking for some mostly fresh animal parts? I don't know. Celia usually buys whatever I have, and Mr. Pickett seemed real interested. So I thought maybe I was onto something.
Mr. Pickett? Franklin Pickett from Edgewater?
That's him. He'd been here years, but he always talked about going back to Edgewater one day.
Sure. Mr. Pickett used to run the community center outside Edgewater. He had this grand idea to make it a museum for halcyon life. As my dad told it, Mr. Pickett was always going on about getting a manta queen for the last display. He left the Vale, gosh, years ago.
He came to Stellar Bay years ago, just before the board cut us off. Ended up stuck here. He was always real interested in our monsters. Manta queens, especially. Sure, they're real big. Hard to miss them. Well, I could send you to the same place I sent Mr. Pickett. But I haven't seen him in a few weeks. To tell true, I'm starting to get a bit worried about him.
Captain, can we look for him? I'd feel awful if somebody from home was in trouble and we didn't do nothing.
Tell you what, I'll tell you where I sent Mr. Pickett if you promise to look for him. Help him out if he's got himself in trouble. Fair deal?
Seit Wochen ist er vermisst und der macht sich ein wenig Sorgen. Ja, dass es ein wenig Sorge ist, das glaube ich.
Thanks, Captain.
All right then. Leave town through the southern gate, the one right here, and head past the abandoned ruins. Last Mana Queen I saw was in the wilds out that-a-ways. Could be Mr. Pickett still out there, too. Yeah, you find him yet? I sent him past the ruins just south of town. He was... Oh, good.
Well, well. The only new folk I ever see in town are sublight runners from Fallbrook. But you don't look like one of Catherine's. What can I get you? If you don't see it, I don't got it. Don't go asking for the special reserve.
Mhm. Was? Schirmmütze. Alter. Ist ein Ding. 36er Rüstung. Hm. Nicht übel. Die wird wahrscheinlich auch 24, 32 sogar.
Do your part to
Ja, dann
What can I get you? All sales are final.
Okay.
Do your part to support the local. What can I get you?
Nee. Macht keinen Sinn gerade.
Do your part to
Aber
support the
ich
local.
kann ja
What
Dinge
can I get you?
verkaufen.
All sales are final.
$52, ist nicht dein Ernst.
Please. Will someone help me? My boy's in trouble. Oh, thank you for stopping. Everyone acts like nothing's wrong, like my little boy isn't at risk of being eaten by some vile creature. Please, you have to help me get my little Tucker back. He ran away and is going to get himself killed. Oh, I just know a raptidon is melting him with acid as we speak.
It's more dissolving than melting.
That is not helpful.
Also bei den ganzen Wachen, wie kann das sein, dass es ein Kind hier rausschafft? Naja.
Don't you tell me to calm down. I promised my boy I'd protect him for always. But how can I keep him safe if he's run away? He ran out into the wilderness a few days ago. I warned him about the raptidons, mantisaurs, and marauders, the toxic sulfur pools, and poisonous plants, but he didn't listen.
Oh, law, Captain. A youngster won't last long in a place like this. Please, can't we help?
Please, won't you go and find my boy?
Also, nach ihrem Gesicht zu beurteilen, wird das Kind ca. 20 bis 30 sein. Und ich glaube, bei ihr würde ich ja weglaufen.
He's been pining for an adventure. Says he's tired of living cooped up behind the walls. But he doesn't understand how dangerous it is out there. I warned him. A raptidon would snap him up first chance it got. I just know one's ripped his arm off and is gnawing on his sweet little fingers. He should have listened to his mama. I promised I'd keep. He's been listening to those awful broadcasts that the iconoclasts put out. I begged Sanjar to put a stop to them, but did he? No! And now I just know my boy's run off to Amber Heights. That is, if a manta queen hasn't spooled out and eaten his entrails for breakfast already. Those low-life degenerates, leading innocent boys into a life of danger. Oh, they make it sound so exciting, like it's noble to risk it all out there, fighting for the greater good. How noble is it to worry your loved ones? Not at all, I say. But still they preach their sermons of anarchy and rebellion to anyone who'll listen. If they weren't holed up in Amber Heights, I'd knock them all upside the head. That old settlement, southwest of Stellar Bay. I don't know which is worse, the thought of my son shacking up with the nutty iconoclasts. Or that he never made it. Sprats could be nesting in his... Or maybe Maraud... Well, I guess I can't ask you to leave the town walls for... I've got some bits saved up for a rainy day. I'll give you every last one if you just bring my Tucker. Thank you. Oh, you look for him in Amber Heights, you hear? And if you...
Oh, ich kann die Stimme nicht mehr hören.
Someone's been killed!
Ah.
I think I'm gonna be sick. No! I just stepped in a dead man's blood. And I think one of the flies landed on my mouth. If you're going into the apartments, do not go into the lower one on the right. That's where the body is. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go contemplate a hot shower.
Eisduschen. Hm. Nochmal zurück. Schauen wir mal, ob wir das so richtig schön modifizieren bekommen. Eigentlich die noch dabei gehabt.
What can I get? If you don't see.
Okay, davon hätte ich noch 2. Okay. Schon gewundert, wieso ich nicht speichern kann.
Oh, sorry. Just spooked me, was all.
Not much I can do for this guy.
Rufball wird billig.
Okay, moving out.
I'm coming.
Ist er tot oder schläft er? Kann den jetzt nicht anreden, aber durchsuchen geht auch nicht. Hört sich ja nicht wie bei mir an. In der Wohnung. Also im Haus. Ist das eine Tote? Wenn ich jetzt drauf schieße, würde ich es wahrscheinlich wissen, aber das will ich nicht.
Whatever you do, don't mention tossball to Isaac. You'll never hear the end of it.
You know, I haven't seen him in a while.
If you'd gotten stuck in an hour-long rant about mostly colonists, you'd be thankful.
Laura. Wird ja nicht umsonst ihr einen Namen gegeben haben. Wird wahrscheinlich missionstechnische Charakterfigur sein.
You startled me. Don't sneak up on a person like that, huh?
Oder auch nicht. Oder vielleicht gleich. Die wird wahrscheinlich damit zu tun haben. Okay. Scheint zu leben. Ah. Oh. Ein Exohelm. Ach, das ist das Ding. Entschlossenheit +7. Grass. Ach, nehmen wir mit. Kann ich echt wegmachen. Wobei... 10.
Hey, I saw that.
Eieiei, das hast du gesehen. Ich glaub's ja nicht.
What's that smell coming out of Celia's apartment?
Probably whatever she bought from that guy who sells animal parts.
Ah, okay. Weil ich hier wahrscheinlich zu nah stand, sah ich das mit dem Bewohner hier nicht. Oder? Ich hab's selbst übersehen. Was zur Hölle geht jetzt hier eigentlich vor? Ja. Es ist nicht ganz klar, was mit dem Auto passiert ist. Okay. Gut. Ich muss in die Richtung. Mit dem ist ein Bewohner. Hier kann man reingehen. Was auch immer das ist. Eine Kantine. Oder eine Bar oder was auch immer. Bewohner. Und der Koch. Und Red Jill.
day to you.
Mhm. Koch? Eher eine Köchin, oder?
Whoa, by the
Er
stars,
ist
my
näher.
poor heart. I just about pissed my jumpsuit.
Ja, ziemlich ängstlich, die Leute hier.
Most people don't. Besides, this place is enough to try anyone's nerves. Where should I begin? With the oversized mantisaurs? Or perhaps the rap spewing acid at our walls? The board was right. This place isn't fit for human habitation. And I was a fool for staying. Sanjar, of course. He had all these glorious ideas about how he'd run Monarch. Rest periods between every work shift. No shift more than 10 hours long. It all sounds wonderful, until you realize there's only a few centimeters of repurposed steel between you and the deadliest creatures in the galaxy.
That's what she said.
There's truly no end to my suffering. Only every day. But in case you haven't noticed, we don't exactly get ships on a regular basis, yours notwithstanding. And even if I did scrape together enough to buy passage out with sublight, which would mean reaching Fallbrook without getting eaten, shot, or dissolved into green goop, what then? Nothing, that's what. Because MSI is not in what you'd call good standing with the board. So even if I could get out of here, no one's gonna hire me. Even talking about it has my blood pressure up. That was a real popular meal 10, 20 years back, before the board tucked tail and ran. These days, everybody's had a belly full of salt tuna. They all want borscht. And the mushrooms, well, not many venture out of town, what with the monsters hereabouts. I can whip one up for you, but it'll cost. Here's a menu.
Oh, yikes. I can't cover this much, Captain.
Hui! 3000 Bits? Alter Schwede. Ja, was macht man nicht für so eine
You got
Kollegas?
it. I got all the ingredients. Should only take about an hour in the oven. There we are. Now, if you don't mind, I really need to take a leak.
My belly's gurgling just to smell it, Mr. Raymond. Thank you so much.
A pleasure to help such a charming young lady.
Oh, gosh. My tum's rumbling just smelling that casserole.
Oh je. Alles klar. Mhm.
Trying to get us all in trouble?
Wie hast du mich denn da gesehen, Alter? So.
Okay.
Okay. Besser so.
Stop that!
Ah, leck. Okay, egal. Ungeziefer. Ich glaube, das Ding hat einfach nur eine ziemlich langsame Schussrate, deswegen hat der so wenig Schaden pro Sekunde. Achso, konnte ich jetzt mit dem handeln? Nee. Wer macht einen Handel jetzt hier? Keiner. Super. Kann ich drauf schießen und passiert was? Okay. Mhm. Ich hab doch den Helm an, oder? Ja. War das jetzt ein Zeichen oder nicht? So, okay. Tatsächlich. Was haben wir denn hier? Fertigkeiten, Hacken, Tarnungsfähigkeiten, das ist schon mal gut. Geschlossenheit. Sogar, okay. Ja, nee, klappt nicht. Alles klar. Ich mache mal ganz kurze Pause. Bin gleich wieder da.
Ready when you are. We got time. are we headed? So what's the plan?
So, da bin ich wieder. Entschuldigt, ich musste eine lange Nachricht schreiben, die sehr wichtig war gerade für mein berufliches Leben. Deswegen war ich kurz weg. Jetzt voll da. Okay, das ist schade, dass ich die Dinger da nicht klauen konnte. Eigentlich geht es darum, dass ich sie am liebsten geknackt hätte, damit ich die Punkte bekäme. Also bekomme. Aber soll anscheinend nicht sein. Ich weiß nicht, wie er... Was hat er für eine peripherische Sicht, wenn ich jetzt hier unten gucke? Aha. Nein, bleibt da. Das ist gut. Schön, dass sie zur Seite geschoben haben. Ist der noch da? Was zur Hölle? Was ist jetzt? Was war denn das gerade? Ey, nicht dein Ernst. Kann er das denn sehen? Okay, dann nicht. Upsi. So, weiter geht's. Bewohner, Bewohner und Bewohner. Ah, ich glaube, hier war ich doch schon drin, ne? Das war doch dem... Ja. Alles klar. So, da muss ich hin, da ist ein Bewohner. Aber das Kraftwerk-Dingens... Hier ist anscheinend nichts, bis auf diese Tür. Oh. Okay, inwiefern? Hier ist auch noch ein Leiter und hier ist nichts. Die Frage, kann ich jetzt hier drüber dahin gehen oder nicht? Wahrscheinlich nicht. Aber wieso gibt es denn hier einen Leiter? Nein! Autsch. Okay. Das ist Polizeirevier. Beziehungsweise Sheriff's Revier. Ey, Caramba! Okay, für eine Waffe und eine Kiste war das zu viel. Autsch. Yay. Okay. Hm. Achso. Warum einfach, wenn es auch schwer geht? Ja, das war klar. Höhenangst. Du bist wiederholt aus der Geschicklichkeit -1 aus der Höhe. Wahrnehmung -1, Geisteshaltung -1. Ich nehme es mal an. Es gab sogar einen Erfolg. 3 Schwächen erlangt. Oh yeah. Okay, wenn ich glaube, das ist der 9., ne, hier. Also jetzt der 10. Also 9 habe ich und 10. wäre das und ich könnte mir eins von denen, wenn du mal einen negativen machst, versuchst du mehr Schaden. Oh, das ist cool. Das ist cool. Das Das wird wahrscheinlich eher später im Spiel kommen, dass ich immer wieder irgendwelche negative Eigenschaften, beziehungsweise so wie diese Minen, die auf dem Boden liegen, die geben mir auch immer negative Eigenschaften mit, wenn man sich ungestüm durch die Wildnis eiert, beziehungsweise sich bewegt. So. Tragekapazität ist eigentlich sehr, 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 sehr wichtig. 50% pro Begleiter oder insgesamt 40%? 40 Kilo. So, Lauftempo während TZD. Das ist eigentlich sehr wichtig, weil wenn man jetzt zum Beispiel zur Seite gehen will oder auf irgendjemanden im Nahkampf dann begegnen möchte, ist das ziemlich cool. Wissenschaftswaffenschaden. Das ist zum Beispiel der Hammer, den ich habe, den ich letztes Mal benutzt habe, der ziemlich krass irgendwie durch die Gegner durchgeleitet ist und denen so einen Negativeffekt auferlegt hat. Ja, diese 25% Chancen, das sind so total dämliche, keine Ahnung, also, weil das geht hier halt um Begleiterfähigkeit. Also jede vierte, so gesehen, Aktivierung setzt das Ding zurück und dafür ist dieser Punkt zu schade, genau wie das hier auch. 65% Genauigkeitsabzug für Bewegung, das ist eigentlich gar nicht so schlecht. Das heißt 35% mehr Präzision, wenn ich mich bewege. Das ist eigentlich auch ziemlich gut, aber 25% ist eigentlich nichts. Das Ding dauert gerade mal 3 Sekunden oder höchstens 4 Sekunden, je nachdem, was man macht. Wenn ich auch noch mit einem Schnellschussgewehr oder Waffe eben schieße, dann ist das Ding gerade mal nach 3 Schüssen weg. Sprintgeschwindigkeit, das ist eigentlich ziemlich cool. Also diese zwei, die sind viel interessanter als alles, was hier noch ist, bis auf vielleicht das hier. Ne, das nicht. Nach einigen nicht garantiegedeckten Modifikationen ist das Visierjustierungsgerät deiner Werkbank viel präziser. Mhm. Also, Crit-Chance, nee. Da bleibt nur das erstmal. Gespannt. Wow, okay, das waren also Pro-Begleiter. Cool. Okay. Jetzt habe ich Höhenangst. Oh, hier ist keiner. Hey, Paradies. Wartet mal jetzt. Ich will mal gucken. Bevor ich jetzt nochmal speichere. Charakter. Fähigkeiten. Vorteile, Details. Schwächen. Okay, die Schwächen sind klar. Ich habe jeweils, also insgesamt 2 Minus auf Geschicklichkeit und -2 auf Wahrnehmung. Auf Geisteshaltung jeweils. Geisteshaltung ist hier, oder nee, Quatsch, hier müsste es sein. Geisteshaltung hier. Hat noch 15% Regeneration. Okay, das hat noch keine richtige negative Auswirkung auf meinen. Ich meine, das war jetzt ein bisschen höher. Bis 20%, denke ich. Keine Ahnung. Das ist jetzt egal. Egal, speichern wir mal. Dass das jetzt so unbewacht ist, das ist irgendwie ein bisschen komisch. Aber was soll's. Also das finde ich ziemlich cool, dass mit den negativen Eigenschaften auch Spieldauer erlangen zu können. Das macht es halt gewissermaßen nochmal rollenspielerischer. Die Leute, die sich mit Pen and Paper, so halt das Schwarze Auge, DSA oder eben Dungeons and Dragons auskennen, werden sich natürlich heimisch fühlen oder halt Shadowrun und so. Weil das ist ja halt sowas ähnliches und das ist ziemlich cool. Und nochmal speichern. Ich weiß, ich bin so ein Speichersüchtiger. Hey Nell, was geht ab?
Ooh, you're the new face. Wow, you must be up on all the latest tossball games. So who do you follow? Wait, don't tell me. You look like a Hammersmith Thunder fan. No, Glacial Age Mammoths.
Lügen 55. Ah, das wird mir richtig fett Punkte einbringen, aber... Ich will sie nicht anlügen. Also, wenn sie jetzt mir direkt unsympathisch wäre, hätte ich gesagt, okay, scheiß drauf.
Aren't they just? When I get to worrying about the marauders outside, the raptidons chewing at the walls, I just turn my transceiver up to drown it all out. Most of the time it's static on account of the frequency being clogged up, but sometimes it's tossball. So, what can I do for you? Graham's always filling the airwaves with this propaganda, like it's done him any good. All it means is the tossball games get to us in fragments. Makes him real hard to watch. Poor Isaac. I was wondering why I hadn't seen him in a few days. I'd really like to help. Isaac was a sweet fellow, even if he did have terrible teeth. Right. So the thing with Isaac is he didn't know where to stop. He'd get stuck on something, and he just couldn't let it go. Sometimes he'd drink Purpleberry Punch by the liter. Other times he'd keep betting on a losing team. Started owing the wrong people money. I don't know for sure, but I saw Elijah and his buddies pushing Isaac around. They're hooligans from Fallbrook. They sweep into town, drop supplies off behind the warehouse, and spend the rest of their stay getting rowdy over tossball games. They usually loiter in the alley behind the yacht club. They're not allowed in the bar anymore. I bet you anything Isaac ran into trouble with one of them. Mr. Sanjar will be pleased to hear about it when you're done. I know he gets fed up with the Fallbrook bullies, but there's not much he can do.
Also Mrs. Sanja wissen sie auch nicht, wie sie den schreiben sollen. Einmal mit R, eine ohne R, aber sie sprechen aus mit R. Sanjar. Oh, eine coole Dartscheibe. Aber sehr kontraproduktiv mit der Sonne dazwischen. Na gut, so cool ist die Scheibe doch nicht. Weil die ganzen Doppel- und die Dreifachwürfe, die gibt es anscheinend hier nicht. Wobei gibt es schon, aber nur Doppel- oder Dreifach, ich weiß es nicht. Dann werden das die äußeren wahrscheinlich sein. Naja. Okay, hier ist doch jemand Bewohner. Sonst hätte ich die Dinge mitgenommen. Was gibt's denn hier? Wartet mal. Da unten muss ich eigentlich rein. Aber manchmal kann ich auch hier oben rein. Kacke. Ich kann's doch nicht. Was ist denn für ein Heckwert? Achso, da. Ach, 47. Okay, schade. Ziemlich cool aus. Er hat mich an die Dingens, verdammt, wie hießen die? Kroganer, genau. Kroganer bei Mass Effect. Weil die haben auch dieses Gesichtsschutz-Ding am Hals da. Und auch so einen Bauch. Allgemein die Beine und so. Achso, gespeichert hatten wir. Mies. Habe ich sonst was mit den Hecken? Schloss knacken. Nein, das gibt es, glaube ich, beim Hacken nicht. Könnten es aber mal probieren. Ahnung. Dialog. So, hacken. Nein, schade. Vielleicht finde ich ja eine Karte oder sowas. Oder allgemein. Die Codes oder sonst was. Ach, jetzt habe ich einen neuen Stand. Kaffeenoid. Okay, das braucht ja die alte. Fixgriff. Wow, 22.000 Punkte. Und das nur fürs Finden.
If Velma's capable of running the warehouse, she can certainly pick up her own humanoid.
Don't be so hard on her. With Brax missing, she's working doubles and needs a little edge.
Very well, dearie. But you stop by anytime you like. Hmm?
Thanks, I'll keep that in mind.
Bleib stehen, ich will reden.
Sorry, I've got to get back to the warehouse.
Ich könnte sie ja bestehen mittlerweile. Yay.
Okay.
Jetzt sehe ich nicht, was da oben steht. Weil ich das Ding habe hier, das Twitch Overlay. Deswegen habe ich nicht gesehen, was da jetzt stand.
Hello, dearie. Why, I don't believe I've seen you before. And with sweet cheeks like those, I'd remember.
Quite the bedside manner, lady.
Well, it's so rare I get the pleasure of new company. What can Auntie Abigail do for you? She works over at the fishery next door. Quite the hard worker, but she's got a bit of a temper. No disagreement there, dearie. But Velma can be a little prickly. Oh, but here I go again, running my mouth when it's none of my business. Was there something else? Yes, indeed. Someone's got to keep Stellar Bay's people healthy and energized. Oh, but I am. I get to see plenty of my neighbors here.
And I do dearly love a little gossip. Yes, you certainly seem like...
Okay, finde ich gut, dass ich da nicht nochmal extra fragen muss, weil ich es ja schon habe. Schlimmer Junge. Ja gut, das habe ich jetzt umsonst geklaut.
Velma seem out of sorts to you?
She's always cranky.
No, I mean more than usual.
Wouldn't know. I made it a point to stay out of her way.
Oh, Velma ist hier. Wahrscheinlich wird es ähnlich sein wie beim... Wie hieß das? Edgewater. Der erste Ort, in der ich war. Dass ich irgendwas hier total durchrote, das System und alles und allen töten könnte. Was ich natürlich nicht machen wollen würde. Ja, achso. Er hat nur kinetischen Panzer. Nehmen wir mal mit. Kostet doch noch 75, oder? Hat es noch 75 gekostet? Nein, hat es nicht. Ach, ich verwechsel jedes Mal. Ich gucke mal links unten auf den Verkaufserlös, aber das ist ja dann, wenn ich es verkaufe. Schissnet. 36, 20, 19. Toll. Mist. Kann es natürlich nicht verkaufen. Gespeichert habe ich es auch nicht. Oh. Hallo, was ist denn los? Was ist denn das für ein Labyrinth hier? Okay, jetzt komme ich wahrscheinlich hier hoch. Und... Was soll die guckt mich doch an, oder der? Keiner da. Ungeziefer.
How'd you do that so fast?
Signiertes Wolfball-Poster. Sollte ich auch besorgen, denke ich. Ja. Überzeugung +3. Standard mit. Ich nehme es mal mit. Nehme ich auch mal mit. Komm, egal. Ich könnte aufstehen, Mädels. Okay, dann schauen wir mal hier rein. Ey, Caramba, 55. Okay. Hä? Was stand da? Ach so langsam, ich habe Instagram gelesen. Hab schon gedacht, es geht ab.
Look, you can tell Catherine the new shipment will be ready when it's ready, all right? She's welcome to come up here and pack boxes herself if she's in such a hurry. Well, if you're that friendly about it, then you definitely aren't one of Catherine's sublight toughs. My mistake. Hope you can forgive my temper. This job has been running me ragged lately. First, my autoloader foreman stages a walkout, and now my chief pescatological health manager is missing. Braxton. He's in charge of getting the fish fat, but also making sure they don't get too many tumors. He's a real wizard with pharmaceuticals, but he has creative notions of working hours. Comes with living in a free colony, I guess. We're not keen on rules for rules' sake around here. Means Braxton skips work sometimes, but it also means no company boss is telling me when I can take a shit. Since you don't seem to be constrained yourself, maybe you could check up on him. He lives in the apartments. Tell him Velma said to get his lazy ass down here, or she might start noticing those extra jugs he's been taking from supply. Something else on your mind? Stealing's such a nasty word. Let's call it skimming. And yeah, let's just say I've noticed the sterile biotics we use for the fish would get used a little faster on Braxton's shifts. We're not like those corporate towns where you get fined for sleeping on the wrong side of the bed. Besides, the Spacer's Choice stuff we use is cheap enough. And Braxton knows how to get this all tuna, fat, and mostly tumor-free. Sublight boss out of Fallbrook. Handles most goods that come in or out of Stellar Bay. Has a mouth like a Ground 6 Spacer. Unless you're here to tell me he's agreed to do his job again, I've got nothing to say. Hard workers? They turn dials and flip switches. The machines do all the actual work.
I'll wager she don't pay those folks that maintain the mechanicals decent neither.
Caleb and his crew have it better than anyone else around here, I'll tell you that much. Tell him to complain to Catherine in Fallbrook, not me. Sublight's demanding more money for the same contracts, which means we're all in the same boat. If Caleb wants to keep this job, he'd better get back to it. I'm about ready to hire Sublight contractors at this rate. Fine by me.
Okay, klar könnte ich sie
I'd
jetzt...
give you a friendlier welcome, but I'm up to my...
Gosh, this old girl's in a rough way. Even old Bess in Edgewater was in better shape than this.
Hey, you want to try running a cannery with obsolete machinery? You be my guest.
Sorry, ma'am. I wasn't trying to be rude. It's just your flanging apparatus isn't making a strong flange, so your sealer isn't sealing right, and...
Oh, I see what you're saying. Huh. I'll have to try that. Anyway, unless you're here to tell me if Caleb wants to keep this job, same thing as me. Where's your proof? Because I know no one's been poking around my...
MSI's gonna have a hard time getting legitimacy if everyone's so uptight about a little embezzlement.
Just as a hypothetical. Nothing to see on my terminal, of course. Because I've done nothing wrong. Maybe so, but I bet you Caleb runs out of bits first. Then he'll have to come back. He says he's got a stash to tide his crew over. Could be he's all talk, but if the money's real, I bet you he keeps it at home. Near the diner.
You'd steal from your own people? That's low, ma'am.
That's business. Someone's gotta keep the lights on. For running me ragged while he takes an extended leave at the bar? Not on your life. Fine by me.
Alles klar.
I'll keep it down.
Plenty of work to do, especially with so many no-shows.
Okay. Was ist also von hier aus? Übergang zu Stella Rain. Süden. Blutige Zettel. Ein Zettel gefunden bei einer Leiche, sondern der Großteil des Textes nicht. Warte. Oh, Lilia. Okay. Sicherheitscode Gold. Ja. Mhm. Karte sagt was. Gibt nichts nach oben, nach unten. Ah, da ist eine Karte. Sublet Ausweis. Okay. Ja. Nochmal speichern. Bin gespannt, was uns da erwartet. Cool. Okay. Hier gibt es auch 3000 Punkte. Sorry Leute, dass es heute nicht so viel Action gibt. Das muss ja auch erstmal aufgebaut werden, indem ich halt alle mal so ein bisschen anspreche, damit ich so eine Sammelmission mache. Ja, ein bisschen kontraproduktiv, wenn ich jetzt jedes Mal, wenn ich einen anspreche und direkt sein Mission durchziehe und immer wieder von innen nach außen teleportieren. Das würde zu viel Zeit kosten. So, da haben wir doch die alte Agnes. Die habe ich ja ganz übersehen. So, stimmt. Das war doch mit dem nervige.
I oughta. It's kept me alive this long. I mean, you treat it nice. Makes me happy to see, because I feel the same way about my wrench.
Look, it's a tool that does a job. Feelings got nothing to do with it.
Ich gebe erstmal die Ding ab. Dann bekomme ich meine Punkte und ich werde wahrscheinlich aufsteigen.
You're back. All of the above?
Says someone who's never had any fun.
Exactly. See, I'm glad someone on your crew's got some sensible. Got her head on straight.
Alter, 50.000. 50 sogar.
Right in the, oh, no, there it is. There it is.
Nochmal 15.000. Was geht denn ab?
We're in business. Let's go.
That was fast. I gotta see about stalking some on the ship.
You be careful. The first one's free. After that, they'll offer you gainful employment.
Ugh.
Great. Where to? Oh, Hiram? I ain't checked in on that man in an age. He's running the giant radio tower we lovingly call Devil's Peak. We'll be going south and west, mostly along the road till we're past Fallbrook. Out there, there's a western slope that'll lead us through some if you're more of a spelunker, Rotting River will take you into the mountain caverns. We can discuss options. That said, 3's already a crowd. I don't mind waiting somewhere until you got a spot open.
I hope you like being part of our crew, Nyoka. We're real excited to have you.
A ship? Well, look at you. I'll find a spot there to call my own for now. Find me when you're ready.
Alles klar. Ah. Toll, jetzt habe ich einen Junkie in der Truppe. Oje, oje. Genau das, was ich nicht wollte. Was ist das? Bennett? Wieso wartet der hier? Achso, das ist ja der Mr. Ich genieße meine Momente. So, erstmal speichern, würde ich sagen. Und dann... Ach, scheiße. Ich hätte sie eigentlich... Obwohl, die kann ich immer noch rausschmeißen. So, hacken. Nee, das ist genug, denke ich. Lauftempo 70%. Während 5 Sekunden lang. Erhöht den Detektionsradius von Gegnern, wenn du ohne Begleiter unterwegs bist. Nee, danke. Oh, das ist cool. Da ich ja, ich glaube, ich hatte doch eine Plasmaphobie, oder? Ja, da. 25%, damit hätte ich das da, also damit jetzt diesem hier 15% verringert. Für Nahkampfschäden als Gesundheit wiederherstellen. 15%. Sogar jeder Schlag. Das ist doch mal cool. Fett, fett, fett. Fernkampfangriffe verursachen 10 Sekunden lang -1 Rüstungswert bis zu 10 Stapel über Belebe. Begleiter mit 15 wieder. Ab der Zeit, wenn du einen zu Boden gegangenen Begleiter mit dem Inhalator behandelst. Bis ich das getan habe, ist das Ding schon vorbei, der Kampf. Kopftreffer-Tötungen verursachen 25 Schadens bei Gegnern. Wow. Das ist auch nicht schlecht. Wissenschaftsler von 50% schon wieder. Okay, damit wären das 100% Schaden. 100% Genauigkeitsabzug für Bewegung. Das ist fett. Dein nächster Angriff, nachdem du einen Gegner getötet hast, ist ein garantierter kritischer Treffer. Erhöht den Rüstungswert und die Fertigkeit Boni aller Rüstungen, die du trägst. Oi. Also die verwöhnen mich ja hier richtig. Also mache ich das erstmal. Obwohl das hier auch ziemlich cool ist, aber ich mache das mal das. %100% Fertigkeitsbonus. Das ist voll fett. Voll fett. Das heißt, das ist mehr als 7%. Und das ist. Wieso macht es nicht? Wieso steht es da nicht? Aber das müsste dann halt 10 sein und das müsste 14 sein eigentlich. Fertigkeitsbonus +3. Oder habe ich das irgendwie missverstanden? Erhöhe den Rüstungswert und die Fertigkeit aller Rüstungen, die du trägst. Ja, 10% mehr und 100% Fertigkeitsbonus. Was ist da jetzt? Macht immer noch 46 Schutz. Okay, muss ich jetzt nicht so verstehen. Vielleicht ist das ein Bug. Zeigt es nicht an. Was ich hoffe, dass es nur nicht anzeigt und nicht funktioniert. Und das sollte ich vielleicht auch mal reingehen. Vielleicht muss ich bestimmt auch rein. Sanjar. Celia Robbins. Okay. Nee. Nochmal richtig. Rüstungsmeister erhöht den Rüstungswert und die Fertigkeitsboni aller Rüstungen, die ich trage. Plus 10% auf Rüstungsbonus und 100% Fertigkeitsbonus. Das bedeutet, hier hätte ich circa 51 Rüstung und hier natürlich 31 circa. plus 6%, plus 6 auf Inspiration und hier plus 5 auf schwere Ausweichen. Also Ausweichen. Plus, ja. Hier ist das nicht eingegeben, Details. Hier habe ich nochmal 16%, 1 erhöht worden. Wieso auch immer. Ah, guck mal. 55 Körperpanzerungswert. Oder liegt es? Technik. Zeit. Plus 10 auf Medizin. Nee, an denen liegt es nicht. Also, aber 55? Okay. Hm. Hm. Was? 120 Sekunden? Wirklich? Glaube ich irgendwie nicht. Warte mal. Tagebuch. Radiofreies Monarch. Sprich mit den Devils Peak. Hm. Egal, ich rede erstmal mit der. Also bitte mit ihm.
Just make sure it's properly logged.
I'll note it next to the others, sir.
Hat den indischen Akzent.
Well, new business turns up at last.
Celia, didn't I tell you our new statistics-based advertising model would be a hit?
That you did, sir.
How can yield improvements of 26.7% not quicken the pulse? How can 32% cost savings not moisten the loins?
You've often posed these very questions.
Clear my schedule. This newcomer has a meeting with me. Celia, will you make a note of that for my self-review? Very generous.
Noted.
Not so generous I can't drive a good bargain. Now, who sent you? Rizzo's, perhaps? Or Auntie Cleo herself? Hiram? Why, he's probably still out at Devil's Peak. Not that he's had the courtesy to notify me, at any rate. But if you're here for him, I suppose that means you aren't here for Saltuna. Now, there's no need to humor me. I'm used to this particular letdown.
Seems like you're having a rough time, Mr. Sanjar. Are you doing quite all right?
Oh, don't worry on my account. This is merely the latest in a long line of professional erotic and athletic disappointments. I had hoped that livening up our advertisements with enticing figures would draw the other corporations back to our bosom, but it seems we're back to the drawing board. Thanks to the so-called hazard clause, Monarch has been cut off from the board's resources and protection for 10 years now. Now, we've kept ourselves in business by trading with individual corporations, but given the off-the-books nature of those transactions, such arrangements are precarious.
Exactly what I would have said if I'd been paying attention.
You talk like Graham.
Freedom always sounds nice, doesn't it? It makes a rather pretty slogan. But if you sit down and tally up the costs, how you provide for yourself in the absence of aid, how you protect yourself from a hostile galaxy, it starts to lose its shine.
Indeed. Mr. Nandi here has a rather ingenious plan to get MSI restored to the board.
On our terms, mind you.
Ingenious plan? Don't get me wrong, I'm starting to admire your sand, but I bet you could overcomplicate a sisty sandwich.
What a charmingly roguish turn of phrase. Allow me to express my thanks at your confidence and assure you that my plan is indeed sufficiently complicated.
And if our advertising scheme hasn't borne fruit, then perhaps it's time we took matters into our own hands.
It's true, our Celia is an alarmingly competent middle manager. At any other company, she'd be wasted in data entry. The plan she refers to is a two-pronged approach, and the first part involves seeing Stellar Bay properly defended. With a Bolt 52 cartridge, of course. If you can get us what we need to rejoin the board, starting the Bolt 52, we'll be able to become one of the most productive and secure cities in Halcyon.
And you'll have a powerful ally on the board.
Das ist das Problem vieler Pseudo-Rollenspiele oder überhaupt Spiele. Da kommt ein Fremder, den hast du noch nie gesehen, von dem hast du noch nie was gehört. Vielleicht hast du auch ein bisschen was von dem gehört. Und dann beauftragst du ihn oder sie mit irgendwelchen Dingen, die ihm eigentlich nicht ansatzweise Belang ist. Und du weißt nicht mal, was das für ein Typ ist. Der Vertrauen ist sofort da, die erwarten von dir das Können, dass du das kannst und was weiß ich was alles. Also du sollst auch Dinge können, die zig Teams nicht hinbekommen haben. Nur ein Mann mit zwei eventuelle Begleiter. Ich meine, die Begleiter sind eh nur als Statisten da bei mir. Aber ihr wisst ja, was ich meine. Und dann muss ich halt Dinge tun. Es kommt so halt, weiß ich nicht, total Quatsch vor. Hauptsache halt, schickst du jemanden an einen Punkt und er macht das und bekommt dafür Erfahrung und hat irgendwas gesehen. Dann schießt er einfach nur ein bisschen drumherum und ohne so richtige Story halt. Es ist, weiß ich nicht, wie hieß das Kackspiel? Secret, genau, oder Sacred. Hol mir einen Eimer Wasser. Dann holst du Eimer Wasser, dann holst du nochmal Eimer Wasser und dann holst du nochmal Eimer Wasser und dann musst du nochmal Eimer Wasser holen. Oder ein Milch, keine Ahnung. Also. Das sind so Dinge. Ich meine, das ist jetzt gar nicht so schlecht. Ich finde es ja gut, dass es halt so viel zu machen gibt. Aber wie gesagt halt, es kommt halt ein unbekannter Typ, von dem du gar nichts weißt, von den Fertigkeiten nicht weißt, von seinen Charakteren nicht weißt. Es könnte auch sein, dass ich diesen Bolt 52 Dings einfach für mich benutzen will und an einen Konzern verkaufen möchte. Also es ist unglaublich. Ich meine, ich würde wahrscheinlich sogar noch mehr Punkte bzw. Credits bekommen.
Why, one of the strongest defenses in Halcyon. An extremely powerful ordnance.
Never realized fighting the bureaucracy could be this interesting.
It is quite the rush.
Stärkste Waffe in Halcyon oder Halcyon. Und dann behalte ich das selbst, ne? Wird wahrscheinlich auch so sein. Weil die mir das ja geben fürs Proben und was weiß ich das alles.
I'll need to gather some supplemental materials, but I mustn't get ahead of myself.
You do tend to do that.
The Bolt 52 will be in the old arms building southwest of town, which used to be part of Stellar Bay before we had to move our walls in. And These days, it's overrun with marauders and raptidons. Do be careful. I've lost more than a few people to marauders and raptidons out there. Oh, and while you're at it, there should be a terminal in the arms building with some dangerous information. Perhaps you could delete it so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
Genau das ist das, was ich vorhin gesagt habe. Die hat Teams hingeschickt, Leute hingeschickt und die haben es nicht hinbekommen und ich soll es tun. Und diese Teams kannte wahrscheinlich er oder dessen Vorgesetzten, was das für ein Typ war. Und ich soll es können, ohne dass er überhaupt von mir weiß, was und wer ich bin.
What can I do for you? I see. And was his delivery of the MSI authorized? Well, that's excellent. What else can I do for you? Then it's good that I keep such meticulous notes. He and his followers call themselves the Iconoclasts. Lawless anarchists, all of them. If a chance, they've been doing this for years. It isn't just that they drain our... Every radical act they commit cements Halcyon's image of us all. He's lucky the board doesn't take him seriously enough to keep more than a few UDL gunships patrolling Monarch.
An Earth Directorate assault cruiser would change his tune. It's almost a shame.
I've asked myself the same thing many times, especially seeing as the legal mechanisms we employed were part of the board's own bylaws. It's true, the board has treated us unfair. For many years, this planet was home to as many corporations as Terra 2. But back then, it was known as Terra 1. As you may have noticed, this planet has... And as the other corporations began to tally their losses, they decided to pull out. Our leadership at the time... But there were others of us who saw an opportunity. The chance to improve working hours and conditions, to reform MSI from the ground up. It's humane, but it's also good business sense. Exhausted, sick, and malnourished workers are not...
I hope you'd treat them nice, whether it was good business or not, Mr. Sanjar. That's what being a community means. Treating people right, because it's the right thing to do.
Like that's what you saw in Edgewater? Come on. People look out for themselves.
A noble thought, Miss Holcomb. Unfortunately, noble thoughts rarely... Anyway, we learned of a loophole in the corporate bylaws that would allow creating the perfect environment for us to enact these new reforms. Oh, well, there were surely other junior executives with more open minds. But I was keeping my tone flat and maintaining eye contact. You weren't supposed to notice I was avoiding the subject.
This is why you've never been good with presentations, sir.
Very well. Many, many years ago, Graham Bryant and I used to be collaborators of sorts. Indeed, for all the good it did. MSI's then leadership wasn't enthusiastic. They insisted we'd be relocating to Terra 2 along with everyone else. Yes, some of us stayed behind, and as the most senior executive...
Must have pissed off some real big suits to get stuck with that.
On the contrary, I wrote lots of very important reports on behalf of top MS. I moved forward with our planned reforms as well. Yet not long after I renamed it Monarch, the other corporations dislodged us from the board and began an official campaign to paint us as lawless savages. I don't know. Everything we did was legal and above board. We followed... I do think there's something useful in a governing body like the board. Something that keeps us from anarchy, but I dearly wish it functioned differently. As far as I'm concerned, the less said about... Graham seemed like a reasonable man years ago. And we both agreed that MSI's... I thought reforms would be enough. I didn't realize you wanted to abolish the corporate system entirely. Why wouldn't anyone? They own nearly all...
If you can't beat him, might as well join him and reach into their pockets.
To be on the board is to be part of the colonial community, and being cut off means slow strangulation. I fear the MSI citizens who've been dissolved into Raptidon Cud would disagree with you. If membership on the board can ease our hardships and provide... Besides, I'm hopeful that additional leverage on our part will allow us a more equitable relationship.
Don't get ahead of yourself, sir.
Yes, it'll be easier to explain once we... My hope is to maintain the reforms we've managed here, and who knows? Perhaps once we're restored, we could spread them to other corporations. Why? My hope is to maintain... It's a legal provision that gives the board the authority to cordon off...
But wait, what happens to the folks stuck on the wrong side of dangerous?
I'm afraid the welfare of a few hundred people is too minor a figure into the board's risk assessments. Yes, making all of MSI criminals in the board's eye. What can I do for you?
Greetings, and welcome to Monarch Stellar. What can I do for you today?
Or is he not paying you on account of how he tried to fix the thing his own self and busted
Ich
it
gehe
even
das jetzt mal
worse?
ganz schnell
And then said you
durch,
wasn't fixing
weil
it fast enough, so he's docking your wages again? Not that I got any prior experience with such.
Not at all. Mr. Nandi treats us all right and pays us well. I just spent most of my paycheck on Raptidon acid. Laws, no. Sometimes it's canid teeth, or mantis worm wings. Whatever Sebastian has in stock, really.
er ist verliebt in sie. Sie ist verliebt in ihn. So.
Oh, I don't need any of it. It's also I can talk to...
I reckon she's got a little bit of a squish on this fella.
He's sort of the strong, silent type. Unfortunately, my apartment's kind of filling up with his... Would you? I'd appreciate that so much. Maybe don't tell him I wanted you to ask. Just that you met this really nice lady named Celia, and she seemed... Oh, Mr. Nandi's doing that thing where he breathes. He doesn't talk much, but he's got this quiet intensity, you know? Like there's... Plus, he's got great legs. It's hard to find a man who doesn't skimp on lower body exercises.
Good to have standards, I guess.
I know what I'm looking for. You think that's what I'm looking for? You're funny. Not in Stellar Bay. Everyone else who isn't taken either smells like salt tuna or they're my boss. Besides, a man with... Sorry, sometimes I get carried away.
Alles klar. Oh, jetzt gibt's 400 Punkte. Okay. Oh. Okay, hier geht's raus und hier geht's nicht raus. Jo. Ein Manager.
I hope you being here means the board is loosening their restrictions.
Shit, da ist ja noch einer. Mies. Okay. Manchmal, wenn ich lenke, dreht sich das so langsam und plötzlich fängt der an richtig zu drehen. So schneller. Was war das denn? Okay. Was ist denn das? Oh, wie die Puzzlewürfel. Mann. Was sagt die Karte? Also sagt raus, oder was? Nee, wir haben doch jede Menge Dinge, die wir hier tun müssen. Zum Beispiel das hier. Oder?
You sure have seen a lot of the colony, huh, Dr. Fenhill?
Ellie. And sure, but most of it looks the same from inside a ship.
Sorry, Dr. Ellie. Still, though, don't you find it thrilling? Being in space?
Look, it's just Ellie.
Dr. Ellie.
Every day. I sure hope not, or we're in big trouble. Don't you ever get tired of being
Ach so.
cooped up here?
Jetzt bin ich da. Jetzt darf ich sie ansprechen.
You again! You've really got to stop doing that! Jumpy? Who's Jumpy? I'm not Jumpy. Braxton. I've never even heard of a Braxton. Got nothing for you, sorry.
Dilated pupils, anxious posture, muscle spasms. She's high on some quality stuff.
No! Okay, maybe, just a little. Braxton always has a good stash, and I just like to let loose a little. Stop thinking about the marauders and the raptidons outside, you know? Oh, damn. He told me he was delivering to this house in the ruins south of town. Whole family had fallen sick, and he had some meds on hand. So maybe look for him there?
Poor fella. Hope he's okay. We should hurry, Captain.
Okay, das wird dann wahrscheinlich draußen sein. Jupp. Aber wir haben immer noch Dinge hier. So großartig viel werde ich jetzt auch nicht mehr machen, weil es schon 23 Uhr ist. Ich werde nur noch die innenstädtische Erledigung machen. Also Action wird es wahrscheinlich heute nicht geben, es sei denn, die greifen mich jetzt an. Schläger.
Who the fuck are you? This ain't your alley.
Hey, what are you doing here? This is our secret alley.
Wow, ziemlich geheim in so einer kleinen Stadt.
Those crates to market. Listen, that purple-toothed twerp had it coming. Not that anyone has proof. And not that it's any of your business.
Einschüchtern 55. Eigentlich müsste ich das doch haben. Einschüchtern hatte ich doch hier irgendwo. Oder habe ich es zerstört? Ich glaube, ich habe sogar zerstört. Chat. Dialogfähigkeiten plus 5. Und hier hatte ich Tarnungsfähigkeiten. Diplomatie. Ja, shit. Okay, das ist hier auch 5. Überzeugen plus 3. Entschlossenheit 7. Wissenschaft. Okay. Warum sonst?
Who the fuck are you? This ain't your alley. I don't
Wer
have
bist
time
denn
for
du?
this.
Hey! Berta already... Listen, and not that it's any of your business. How? That was supposed to go out with the next... What are you suggesting, pal? Wow. Most of the pencil pushers around here cave as soon as you look at them funny. Fine, we're going. This ain't worth it.
Nur 5000 Punkte. Oh. Ja gut, ich glaube, ich mache jetzt die Pause. Bis wir den Cut. Ich danke, dass ihr zugeschaut habt und ich hoffe bis demnächst.